Okay, you two guys and Coach Terry.
Oh, yeah. That's
Coach
an
Terry's
elite
bodying the
team. That's an
Coach
elite
Terry's
team,
actually
bro.
that guy's bodying the shit out of those guys. Like
For sure, for sure.
that
Yeah,
guy
I'll
was
take that. I'll
hard
take
body.
No,
that.
that is a solid team right there.
Yeah.
What it do, baby? I'm back with Dav, and today we got a special guest joining us. You know, Mr. Toot Toot, Alex Root. Me and Dav both had the pleasure of going to Ridley with Root. You know, that was my backcourt partner for the past 2 years. You know, my roommate as well. You know, shout out Sneaky Pete, room 303. And yeah, so Alex Root, he signed to committed to McGill last year. You know, he's in his first year of eligibility. Obviously, the season's canceled this year, but yep, he resides in Montreal. He's a 6'4" guard, and he's majoring in business.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been a long time coming, and thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Yeah, exactly like you said. We've been in the talks for a while, messaging back and forth. So yeah, we're happy to finally have you on.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
All right, well, yeah, just to get right into it, we'll start with basically an icebreaker question. Like, what made you choose McGill as a university that you wanted to play basketball at, to study at, all of the above?
Yeah, when it came down to it, there's a few things I wanted in a school, and that was a balance between sports and academics. And I think Ridley gave all of us that, and so I wanted to continue that at the next level. And so when some opportunities arise in the United States and even the rest of Canada, I had to try to keep that priority straight. And I think McGill has a good balance of that. With the team itself, I was being recruited by now the former head coach of McGill, who's now at Ryerson, Dave D'Averio. He also coached Johnny and I in summer basketball, and we've known him for quite a while. And so I toured the school. I fell in love with it. I got along with the teammates, and saw my ability to make an impact on a team that was 12-4 last year, and had a good chance of repeating if we had the season for the RICQ title, our league title. And so there was combination of factors, and it was a little bit of a weird spot when COVID hit, with visiting and with other schools, and so I felt really comfortable with McGill already. So once I was admitted to the program that I was going for, which was business, then it was an easy decision for me.
That's good to hear. And what about the campus? Because obviously I've heard it's really beautiful. Obviously winters are beautiful there too. So what's that saying?
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's interesting right now because of COVID. Obviously people are in and out, with their lockdowns and everything. But it's really beautiful there. It's right in the city, so there's kind of a little McGill bubble in the city or downtown, but you can really never leave the campus and you'd be fine. It's cold, which obviously I think we're all pretty used to. But when I went up there, it was ice storm, so that was one thing I had to get used to. But no, it's really nice, and it's no place I'd rather be. But I obviously everybody's at Queens, Western, U of T, and other schools in Canada, so they're all good options.
Fair, yeah. No, that's a good answer. I like to hear that.
Yeah, 100%. And unfortunately with COVID, you're not on campus at McGill right now. You're home, and kind of what does a day in the life like kind of look like for you, like kind of currently and kind of before, for example, when you're at McGill, with the gym, like did you guys kind of getting workouts in with classes and stuff?
Yeah, I'll start at McGill because it's I've been home for quite a while now, just because everything's been locked down. So at McGill we had individual workouts, and then we had 3-on-3 or groups of 3 workouts. Unfortunately, somebody in our bubble was suspected of having COVID. They didn't end up having it, but when that happened, we all had to quarantine and test. And since then, it kind of fell apart a little bit because we went into lockdown right after. So a lot of guys that could go home went home. But when we're in Montreal, it was a variety of on-court individual workouts, not really team stuff per se, with our sets, excuse me. But it was more individual works, getting into, game shape. And it was more just building up your body and building up your game so that, at some point in the second semester, hopefully we hoped we can start doing team concepts. But that was a day in the life in Montreal. It was basketball 2 times a day. The weather was a lot nicer, so we were out walking around. But now it's been a few months now where I've been back home for the most part. And it's been basically, there's a few gyms that I've been able to sneak into, but at this point I think we're in lockdown for a little while. So.
And did you sneak in with Sneaky Pete, or was he not present?
I don't know. Sneaky Pete's been sneaking around. I don't know where he's sneaking at. So he's all over the place. He's out east, over here. Who knows?
Man of many trades. I guess you could call Sneaky Pete a gypsy. But we we got a little bit of a two-part question for you. Both the questions kind of go together. So I'll ask you the first part. Johnny will ask you the second part. First, I just want to ask you, what's the cancellation of U Sports been like for you? Like mentally, like physically, like how have you adapted to that?
I think that it's been. I think going into the season, we kind of had an idea that it wasn't going to happen. But I think we figured the U Sports wouldn't happen. But the RSEQ, which is the Quebec Collegiate Division, which encompasses about 5. I think it's 5 or 6, depending on the year. The universities in Quebec. We had some hope, and we still have a little bit of hope that we'll have some scrimmages with Bishops, with Keanu Heath, who is another Ridleyan.
That's true. Yeah, shout out Keanu.
Shout out Keanu. Even though we're gonna win handily against those guys, but shout out Keanu. But yeah, we still have a little bit of hope. So we're kind of in limbo. Whereas I know some other programs are told their guys that we're done for good. So all the other leagues in Canada have been shut off. So it's been obviously disappointing in some parts, but I think we've all realized it's bigger than ourselves. And the safety and the health and safety of everybody is a main priority. So it's been interesting, and I think it's been a learning experience, but hopefully next year we're able to have a full year of competition.
Yeah, man, let's hope. Yeah, I honestly, like, I'm not even a student athlete right now. I used to be at Ridley, obviously, but yeah, I can't imagine like how terrible it must be for you guys. Like, I remember training by myself in my sports was tough enough. So yeah, not being able to get on the court, be with your buddies, like even scrimmage against other teams really does suck. So I feel for you in that way.
Yeah, it's been new, but I think now we've kind of made it our normal. So we've been able to move on pretty well, and hopefully you can get back to playing some games. Maybe play against Sneaky Pete. They're trying to play some ODs games, so
Yeah, and you kind of talking about kind of us having to like adjust to this like new norm. How did you stay like kind of disciplined and like motivated during quarantine? With everything going on, like gym shut down, like did you have to get creative with your workouts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the one thing that helped with that is my dad has a bit of a mini weight room in his garage. So, and Johnny, you've seen that before. It's weights from these weights from like 1945. It's so it's that kind of kept me in a discipline. If I ever didn't have any direction of what to do that day, I always had a weight room that was a couple steps away, where I can start off my workouts and didn't have to leave the luxury of having that in my home. So it was difficult at first being outside and having to train outside. One time I was out there, I was within the COVID restrictions and such, but a cop pulled up on me and had to tell me to get off the park, and I was like, whoa, like this is I'm not used to this. I'm used to just going here and shooting some hoops, but yeah, it's been a little bit difficult. But it's bigger than, I think it's bigger than us, so I've kind of had to accept that a little bit, but I think the home weight room has helped me out a little bit.
That's good, man. And just talking a little bit about like going to the park and stuff. So I've been telling Johnny, I've been talking smack to him, saying that I put him on skates in a 1v1, and obviously that I got to back that up with facts. So you already know I've been going to a little park near me, and I've just been practicing the James Harden step back, getting up, driving into the lane. So you already know next time I see Johnny, I'm gonna put him on skates for real.
Yeah, Johnny's worst nightmare. I don't know if he told you this. He's been telling me this. His worst nightmare is he's James Harden's his favorite player, and seeing your face on James Harden, that's what he sees when you guys are playing 1-on-1. That's his worst.
Bro, I'm gonna have to do to him. Hit him with the step back for sure. But
I was gonna say, Dav, you got a new pair of shoes for Christmas, so
that's true.
Break those in, maybe,
Yeah, you already know, bro. But hey, I can't be creasing them, so you gotta be careful. That's part. Yeah. But moving on a little bit more to talking about like the NBA, because obviously that's our main focus here. One question I wanted to ask you is, what player do you model your game after the most?
I think this is a bit of a two-part answer. It's a great question because I think it changed drastically between my last year at Ridley and the year before. So the first year that Johnny played with me on Ridley, I played off the ball. Johnny would know that. I played the two behind University of Calgary point guard Noah Wharton, who was a great point guard. So I played off the ball. I watched a lot of JJ Redick, and so we always call Johnny
Okay.
JJ because he plays a little bit JJ Redick. So I watched a lot of him. I ran a lot of off-ball screens, a lot of we didn't really run a floppy set, but they run a floppy set in Philadelphia when he was there at that time. And so I watched a lot of JJ. And yeah, just getting open, using my body to create some space off one dribble pull-ups. But then I think this last year I was handling the ball, playing the one. Johnny was playing the two, and so I watched a lot of old Steve Nash, just because he was good with angles. And I actually watched a lot of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because even though he's a phenomenal athlete, but he says it himself that he uses angles more than he does athleticism. And so I consider myself to be a good athlete, but against these high major D1 guys, that's not good enough. So you have to use a few extra tricks to get by somebody and be able to make some plays.
Yeah, for sure. You got to be crafty, definitely. There's definitely a lot that goes into more into basketball, and this having like being tall and being like genetically like athletic and stuff like that. Yeah, like if you can master your craft and like get those angles down, learn the ball really well, for sure you can have a really good chance of being a really good player in any league, for sure.
Yeah, I got to watch a lot of Steve Nash passing the ball to 3-point shooters, which was Johnny last year, so
a wet marksman and Johnny.
I really like that comparison with JJ Redick. You playing off the ball, like, I can actually kind of like see that too now that you like bring it up. And yeah, even with like Steve Nash, he's like one of the best in history with angles, and Shai's an up and coming point guard. Probably one of the most craftiest players in the league. So I really like what you had to say there. Next, not who you model your game after, but who's your favorite NBA player, straight up?
So this is gonna be a problem because I know that there's a lot of heat around this guy right now, and that's my boy Andrew Wiggins. My boy Andrew Wiggins is my favorite player. Not even close. It's not close. I have a signed Andrew Wiggins jersey. I would have brought it for you guys. Andrew Wiggins, favorite player. No question.
I rate the jersey.
Yeah. So even after like the last like two games, you still riding with him?
Hey, everybody has, he's had a couple rough years instead of a rough couple games, but I think Wiggins has a chance still. He's only 25.
Around there, yeah.
He's been pretty bad the last couple. I can't lie. He's been pretty bad. So he's pretty inefficient right now. I think it's all Golden State as a unit too.
Yeah, I definitely.
Kelly Oubre's out here shooting over 25 in the first half. I mean, it's a bit of a disaster. So I think he'll figure it out. I think he's still. I mean, I hate the word potential because it doesn't really mean anything in the NBA. Either you're good or you're not.
Yeah.
But I think he still has the opportunity there to be a two-way player if he decides to use some effort. But I've seen him do it in Minnesota, and so hopefully he can do it again in Golden State. But
well, I mean, even last year, I had him on my fantasy team last year, and Wiggins was giving me buckets at the beginning of the season. Like the first half of the season, he was going crazy. So
yeah, he was averaging 23. Yeah,
if he can even find that form again, that'll be incredible. Yeah, he at his best, he's a very good player for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even like I think he like won Rookie of the Year. Had an amazing like freshman season. It's still like not like to say he's ass. He still like played well and stuff. But like the thing is if he like wants to play basketball, because like kind of just recently he just looks like disengaged on the floor. Doesn't look like he's putting in effort. Maybe that's just like his personality, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know what's going through his head. I guess you never do with a pro athlete, but I mean, it looks like sometimes he's like wishing he's playing curling or something. Like he's not necessarily engaged in the game all the time. And so I think Golden State is the best place for him, though, in the sense that their culture is bigger than him. And so I think that hopefully they can mold him into the player that I think he needs to be.
For sure. No, yeah, I definitely agree. And, I think it also speaks volumes that, like, you didn't pick a player that's, like, a superstar, more someone that you have a connection to. I always love finding those connections. Like, I remember it's a bit of different sport for soccer. My first ever jersey was, like, a Argentinian soccer player. So ever since then, he's been my favorite soccer player of all time. Right. So, yeah, for me, it's always about building that connection and then sticking with that player. So, yeah, I definitely rate that you have Wiggins instead of, like, your classic superstar like James Harden or Johnny would pick.
Yeah, that's the thing is, see, you and I, Dad, we have guys that are unique. Johnny
exactly.
just likes to he has a little bit of a fetish for James Harden. So.
Exactly. I wouldn't even say it's a little. I'd say the big one, but
yeah. I'd say that's a big understatement. It's little, so teach his own.
Moving on, next question. Who would win in a 1v1? First, you were Dav, and then you were me. So answer the first.
I got a lot of respect
question.
for Dav. I still think he'd cross you up, Johnny. Like, it's no question. Like, as he said, he's working on your favorite player's move. So I think he'd handle you. But I gotta take myself in that matchup. I've been in the park too. So, but I think Dav's underrated. So maybe he's gonna go for Queens basketball one year and.
100%. You already know. Next year, I'm signing up for my eligibility. Been
go.
talking to coach. Yeah, you already know.
Sure.
What about you versus Johnny? What's saying there?
That's a good one because I think I haven't seen Johnny play because obviously I'm gonna pick myself, but I haven't seen Johnny play in a little bit. I think if we're taking last year at Ridley, I think the only difference is I'm going to punch it on Johnny's head. I'm punching on your head. Right now, I'm coming off an injury, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. So, and I haven't seen Johnny. I'm sure he's been working. So, I think it'd be close, but I'm gonna have to take myself in that one.
Johnny, you gonna hug that or you got your little comeback?
After post injury, we'll play and we'll see.
We'll figure that out. I think, we'll figure that out. We'll time and date.
Personally, I think my one-on-one matchups are very similar to my fantasy results, and I don't lose in fantasy. So
what? So dirty?
I don't know. We'll see next week.
So bad.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Fair enough. That. Yeah, I know. That's a matchup I love to see. Two similar height guys, two guards. So yeah, it'll be a really cool matchup to see for sure. How about moving on to a little bit funnier story? Tell us about your favorite Coach Terry story.
Okay, this is so easy for me to do because this was one of the first memories. This is my first year. So it's the year before Johnny came.
Okay.
And I was coming off a concussion, so I was technically cleared to play, but it was last minute. So I went on the team trip. We went down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, played a really good tournament. The top teams in the league is called the Grind Session were there. Top Canadian teams were there, and it was our second game against Tennessee Prep Academy, which is a top team in the South. They had 4 or 5 ranked guys, a couple of 4-star players, a couple of guys committed to SEC school. So they were a good team. And I was on the bench. I wasn't dressed. I was injured. And so with my concussion. So I was there with I remember talking to my ex-teammate, Thomas Caprera, who was our post-grad that year. Yeah. And we were sitting on the bench talking to each other. And this whole game, the refs were holding us. I mean, it was bad. I mean, I don't know if because we're from Canada. I don't know what it was. But the refs were it was clearly in the other favor. And I noticed Terry usually is up and about screaming and yelling. The game before played Mount Zion Prep, screaming and yelling, got the crowd riled up. He was doing this to the crowd. Like he was, but he was sitting down. And I don't know if anybody listening to this will know Mick Bett, great assistant coach of our team. He was the one that was leading the game, which was unusual. Usually Terry was. And so we were confused. And as Thomas Caprera was saying, "Hey, why is Terry so quiet?" I look over and all you see is a chair flying across the floor. Terry stood up. God. There was a bad call against his son, Marcus. Terry just stood up. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything the whole game. He took it up. He just threw his chair across the gym. He threw his chair across the gym. And so I look up, I see a chair flying in the gym. I said, "What's going on here?" And so the chair at this point is at half court. And he didn't even ask to get – he literally just told the ref, he said, "I'm leaving." He says, "You don't have to throw me out. I'm gone." So – wow. That was one of my favorite stories because it just caught me off guard. I didn't even know what was going on with him. But
so he was just holding in all that Super Saiyan strength just to throw that one chair half court.
No, he had some anime strength for sure. Like like he had some pent up energy there. But yeah, no, I will say I'm not gonna say it's I'm gonna go throw a chair across the gym at the crowd, but I will say that the rest were on our ass. So. But yeah, there's a few other stories. I don't know if I should share them, but Terry's got a few moments where he's gotten a little bit, out of character a little bit. So
yeah, we've had our fair share of Terry stories on your so yeah, it's good to hear them for sure. We always try to keep it PG with them, so it's good to hear that. That's as far as it goes. A chair being thrown.
Yeah, shout out Coach Terry too. I know you watch some of these, so shout out to Coach Terry if you're watching this. And even I told Cam, the same thing, that I wish like I kind of came earlier, you know, because I've heard a lot of the stories, you know, had that year before with you, you know, Marcus and Cam as well. Yeah, you know, we've past 2 years, we definitely have like a ton of Coach Terry stories.
Yeah, I gotta say one thing though. As much as you know, Terry was throwing a chair that one time. Terry usually is the life of the party. So you know, it's and a good coach. So you know, I think that whole weekend the refs were on us, and you know, it was this one moment where the pent up frustration got the best of them. But yeah, I think that first year there's a lot of funny moments that I wish I could. You know, Johnny was there to see at least. You know.
Hey, and you know what? But better to have a coach that's super passionate about you guys doing well and always willing to fend for you guys, and someone that just sits on the sidelines and just gives you some tactics and that's it, and to go out and have fun. So that's admirable from him for sure.
Okay, that's good. Next we got what accomplishment in your career are you most proud of, and also if you have like one like special like in-game moment or like your favorite kind of in-game moment.
I think one accomplishment. I mean, there's a couple of little ones, but you know, one thing that would have been our biggest accomplishment was again that first year at Ridley, winning the OSBA championship. We fell short. I still think it was an accomplishment for us to get to that point, to be able to be in that position. That's a team accomplishment that I think I'm really proud of those guys for. Obviously we came up short, but it was you know, we were the underdogs in that tournament, and I think personally. There's been, I think going to the NCAA camp, the Combine Academy in Houston was good just because it was, you know, the ability to actually, you know, test, you know, my abilities against other guys that, you know, not just in Canada, but not just in the circuit in AAU. Be invited to that and be able to showcase my skills, I thought was something that I was, you know, happy I was able to do, and, you know, I was proud to be able to do. My favorite in-game moment was probably last year when I dunked on that guy from Central Tech. That was my second in-game dunk, but that was the first real in-game dunk. So everyone wants to get one in-game dunk in their life that on somebody. So that was probably my favorite at the time. So
that's true. Everyone wants that one in-game poster. But you know, I'm surprised. Johnny was telling me about a story yesterday. I'm surprised you didn't pick that moment. I think Johnny was telling me around grade 4. Or before you guys even knew each other. You hit him with you drained a buzzer beater over Johnny.
Yeah.
Tell us about that one.
Okay, yeah, that was.
Hold on, guys, quickly too. You know, I actually have the film from it, so we're gonna cue that quickly, and then we're just gonna talk about it. So let's cue that grade 4 jump shot right now.
Get in there, squeeze it.
Is it Jonathan? Good, Jonathan.
Okay, yeah, go. Speak now.
Okay, yeah, tell us about it.
So yeah, that was grade 4. Johnny would have been what, grade 3?
Grade 3, yeah.
Grade 3. It was 15-16 was the score going with. I had 20 seconds left. You know, well-known Warriors. Game. We them boys, you know. So we're playing as I am Aurora.
Yes, sir.
Red and blue jerseys. I remember, you know, dungeon of a gym. I don't know where we were, but dungeon of a gym. OBAs. Came down the floor. My mom was coaching me. She's screaming at me, shoot the ball. So I had to come down, you know, hit Johnny with a 1-2 cross and you know, put up the little elbow jumper. You know, that was you know, I was thinking at the time, you know, who's this guy think he is? You know, trying to guard me with hand in the face. You know, I'm gonna hit this. So I'm gonna be our leading scorer with 6 points. You know, so
that's crazy.
You know, I had to hit that step back or the little pull up. So it's crazy.
Little did you know you'd be on the podcast with him today, speaking about this moment. That's crazy.
With the Johnny Avgousti, so
yeah, you know, I remember like you had like some like Zoom like hyper revs on. I remember. I just remember it was like it was Friday night in London. OBA championship. It was like Division 4. But yeah, no, I actually remember it, which is crazy. And just it's crazy like to see like how things come like full circle.
Pretty crazy. It's a pretty small world, you know. So, you know, next time, you know, I got. Down the line, I got my kids playing OBAs or playing basketball. It's probably going to be playing against Johnny's son or something.
Yo, that would be actually crazy. Yeah. Yo, but Johnny, when that happened, what were you saying? Were you having a little hissy fit? Like, were you swinging at the air? Or like, what was saying?
I was probably punching air in the moment.
Just going crazy. had his dukes up. He wasn't having that. I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped you after that, just out of anger.
I mean, he's from Aurora. Those guys are demons, you know? Like, come on, these guys are certified demons. Can't play with those guys.
All right, well, moving on a little bit. You know, we love making our predictions on this podcast, so we want to ask you a couple of little prediction questions for the upcoming NBA season. First off, who do you think is going to win the NBA championship next year?
I've been torn on this. And Dav, you're not going to want to hear this because I got the Brooklyn Nets.
I know.
I got the Brooklyn Nets, and I part of me says that because my opinion has switched so drastically that it's I was really low on the Brooklyn Nets. I thought they were going to have a bad year. I thought they'd have bad chemistry, but they look like such a deep team.
Yeah.
I think Karis LeVert's the most underrated bench player in the last couple of years.
For sure.
So yeah, I got the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. I think that I had the same opinion. I thought they were going to be like the new age Clippers, like last year Clippers.
Yeah.
Like where you just put two superstars on a team and expect a chip. But no, yeah, KD and Kyrie are looking really good together. They have great chemistry already. So yeah, I'm a bit worried as a Bucks fan for sure. I can't even lie about that. Johnny still has Raps going to the finals though, eh?
Oh my God. Johnny has Raps going if they made the lottery. They haven't going to the finals somehow.
We'll see what happens, but with like Brooklyn, like, especially in playoffs too, like all you need is like one superstar to carry you. They got two in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving when things get tough. So yeah, they're going to be like a hard out in the playoffs. And yeah, I think for
Definitely.
sure too, I agree with you guys. They'll like definitely go to the finals. And right now, like the way they've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if like the betting odds have them as the favorites.
I might eat my words in the future because it's only been 2 games, but
yeah.
I forget that KD and Kyrie have already both won a championship, so they got experience, and
that's true.
I think that they're head on with the Lakers.
Yeah, and any other kind of like bold predictions you have, like for example, maybe a sleeper team that will make a deep run in the playoffs. Any like kind of dark horse for MVP, maybe. Any other like bold predictions from Alex?
I got two big ones.
Okay.
I got first one is I think Colin Sexton will make an All-NBA team. I'm a huge Colin Sexton fan. I think Colin Sexton is the most underrated player right now in the NBA. I think he averaged 21 a game on good efficiency last year. As a 21-year-old, he's going into, he's got about 3 years until his prime, and he's already this year. I mean, obviously it's only 2 games, but he's on my fantasy team. That's why But he's average. He's probably going to average, upwards of 23, 25 points a game.
Yeah.
And I think the Cavs are going to be actually a contender for the 8-7 seed. So I think that, if he puts up, 25, I think he has a chance to put up higher than that, but I'm being conservative at 23 to 25.
Wow. Conservative 23 to 25. Damn.
I mean, he averaged 21 last year. I think he can make that jump. So
that's crazy.
I think the Cavs also, this is part of this take. I think the Cavs will make the playoffs and the 8 seed.
Really?
I think so. They're 2-0. I mean, always 2 games, but Drummond looks good. I think people underrate Kevin Love still. I think he's still a really efficient 4 in the NBA. And I think Darius Garland's going to be the X factor. And if he's putting up, the same assist numbers that he is right now, then they have a good flowing offense with guys off the bench. So that's one prediction.
Yeah, man. Like Garland and Sexton look really good together right now in the backcourt. So, you could be right. I had them probably as the worst team in the NBA at the beginning, but they're actually looking. Me and Johnny both thought they were the worst team in the NBA. So
yeah, we do some shade at them. So.
I'm not even gonna lie. I thought they were also going to be the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah.
I thought
them were the Pistons. That's what I had. But
they
will be the worst team. They will be the worst team.
Yeah, they got Mason Plumlee starting. They can't be. That guy's absolute bum.
Mason Plumlee, if you're watching this, you're a bum. Just know that.
I actually
chill. Nah, Plumlee, we love you. We love you. If you're watching.
Fantasy. I tried to pick him up for fantasy, and I realized that he scored like 2 points with like 3 rebounds. I'm like, you're playing 31 minutes a game. Like, what's wrong with you?
Nah, he ain't it.
Yeah.
So did you say you have one more, or you want to move on?
It relates back to why I'll give a little bit of preface to this. This opinion, again, is such a big switch for me because I was low on this player. I was very critical of their ability to handle pressure and with the media. That's Kyrie Irving winning MVP. I think Kyrie Irving will be top 3 MVP candidate. If not, he will win. Because I think Brooklyn will be the 1st or 2nd seed. I think the Bucks will be a great regular season team. So I think they'll be the 1st or 2nd seed in the NBA. I think he's going to average 28 points a game like he did last year.
Definitely 28 points. I could see that for sure.
So I think that if LeBron is the X factor really is Luka Doncic. If he's he's obviously a favorite right now. If their team is good enough, I think he will be deserving of it. But I don't think the Mavericks will be a top 3 seed, and I think that's been consistent for an MVP in the last few years. So I think Kyrie will be a top MVP candidate, if not the MVP.
But yeah, those are big words. But I would love to go back and see if you got it right or not. But yeah, that's crazy. I never even considered Kyrie to be like top 5 for MVP. So, but yeah, you're right. If he's putting up numbers like this every game, for sure, he could be in that conversation. Moving on to our favorite part of interviewing people, we got the fast rounds. I'm not sure if you've seen how they work, but we just ask people rapid fire questions, and then they, off the top of your head, whoever you got in your mind, you pick. Okay. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So, 3, 2, 1. Celebrity crush.
Kendall Jenner.
Okay, yeah, good one. Favorite artist?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Would you rather be with a teleport or have invisibility?
Teleport.
Okay. Favorite present you gave and received this Christmas?
I'm 19, so I bought my brother a bottle of Grey Goose and the Tech Fleece pants I'm wearing right now.
Now, give us a little look right now. Let's see the Tech Fleece.
I don't know. You know what I mean? I got that Tech Fleece in the
okay. I see. We like to see that.
You know, they're not gray though. You know, I thought girls like the gray sweatpants. You might have to go exchange them for gray.
Yeah, fair. They were out at Foot Locker. You know what I mean? So
I have to get what he can get, man. You allow him. You have to get what he can get.
Yo, allow me.
Yeah. Come on. All right, next question. Zombie apocalypse is coming. Name 3 people you want on your team.
Okay, you 2 guys and Coach Terry.
Oh, yeah. That's an elite team. That's an elite team,
actually,
bro.
That guy's bodying the shit out of those guys. Like
For sure. Yeah, I'll take that.
That is a solid team right there.
Johnny might be the first to go, but it's okay.
Oh, Johnny's
you,
gone
me, and Terry can fend.
I took Johnny for the entertainment. Like, I'm trying to record that and yell 6 buzz. You know what I mean? Or wave through. And Johnny's going down in 20 seconds.
Bro, I could definitely see that. This guy forgot to do something, or he woke up too late, just for this podcast.
Bro, I'll just give the zombies a little 1-2 Mayweather, and they'll be fine. Nah,
Johnny's actually get RKO by these zombies. Like
for sure,
I would pay to see that. So.
And probably our favorite question this speed round: you've been given an elephant and you can't give it away or sell it. What are you gonna do with this elephant?
I'm riding the elephant.
You're riding it? Where are you riding it?
Downtown Montreal. It's gonna be at the bottom of my apartment building. I'll keep him in the
put him in the garage.
Ride practice.
Feed him some hay or whatever they eat, carrots or whatever elephants eat, and then
that's
what. Are you gonna pick up shorties on the elephant or what?
100%. I'm going down to the clubs, and I'll pick up some shorties. That's
fair. Yo, just tell them to get on. Tell them to get on the trunk of the elephant. Just yabba dabba do all the way up, and they're with you.
Exactly. Yeah, man. That's the ultimate pickup. Imagine having an elephant.
That'll go hard. That'll go hard for sure.
That'd be crazy.
Well, yeah, that wraps up the routine questions. Good responses. We love to hear it. Johnny, give us that main question.
Yeah, so we modified it a bit. So we actually do not know what to expect for the answer. But would you rather fast forward to 30 years old with $50 million in your bank account, or go back to basically 10 years ago with all the knowledge you have now?
I would go back 10 years from now because that's actually tough.
Because it's
tough, man.
It's 30 years old, so it's not like you're going too deep.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah, I misheard the question. I thought it 30 years in advance, so I'd be 30 years old.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably go back 10 years, take stock options in some companies, and make that 50 million anyways.
Fair. Okay, but what if it's not like going back in time, but more you stay in this time, but your age decreases to 10 years old? What
with
about that?
The same? No. Oh no.
Like everything you have right now.
So you wouldn't be able to predict stocks. You wouldn't have the stocks down, knowing Tesla or Bitcoin was gonna pop off or anything like that. So it would just be you would be right now in the present, but you'd be 10 years old.
Oh no, I don't want to be 10 years old right now. I mean, think about this reason alone. How cringy can TikTok be if you grew up at 10 years old watching TikToks? I'm gonna have to pass.
Bro, yeah, it's true. You wouldn't have Vine. That's facts. That's facts. You wouldn't have that Vine upbringing.
I can't do that. I have to go to 30 with 50 million.
Fair, yeah. No, I found that one so hard because think about if you have all the knowledge you have right now in your mind, and now you're 10 years old, like you'd be able to body anyone with that knowledge, bro. That'd be crazy. It is like
Yeah,
common
that's
knowledge,
true.
like your experiences, everything.
I think that's true. I think that although I don't know how like imagine being forced to take. I mean, you probably just skip every grade, but being forced to take elementary school level classes again, being
That's
forced
true.
to be around 10-year-olds for at least some part of your life again.
Yeah.
So I'm not dissing any 10-year-olds, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like be hanging out with 10-year-olds. It's just
That's fair. No, I didn't even consider the fact because you would still have your consciousness right now, but you'd be in like your 10-year-old body with all of your knowledge. So yeah, that would probably be a bit depressing to be fair.
yeah, that's a tough one. That's a good question.
For sure.
Good question.
All right, well, good to know that you take those bands and just hop on to 30 years old for sure.
I just I think opportunity cost, can't pass that up.
Definitely. All right, well, that wraps it up. Root, thank you for coming on. It was awesome to have you on. Had some really funny moments for sure. Probably gonna clip one of those at the beginning. Make sure that's our clickbait. But yeah, with all that said, we really appreciate having you on. We've been in that talk for a while, so happy to finally get you here. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that like button because our motto is it costs 0 cents. So yeah, make sure you hit that 0.
Guys.
Make sure you check us out on all of our socials. We're posting daily on TikTok now. I hate to say that, but yeah, we are. We're posting daily on TikTok. So you already know how desperate we are. So yeah, make sure you go check us out there. Follow us on everything you can. And we're also going to be doing a giveaway this week. So make sure you check that out for sure.
Stay tuned for the giveaway, guys, to our socials. And yeah, we also got another special announcement coming this week, midweek. So
definitely. We're going to be having a premiere, guys. We're going to be premiering. This week is busy. So yeah, stay tuned for sure.
And yeah, all right. Root again, thanks for hopping on. We really appreciate you having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's been a big supporter of the podcast. I think it's some great content. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Appreciate that, bro. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.